Second choice is the gallery element. Okay, so you can also do something like a full width slider. So let me show you exactly what to do here. And this is where I'm going to teach you about the sliders. Okay, so number one, what I want to do, I want to keep this kind of design. This is kind of what I like. Instead of page 1, we're going to say home page 1. Home 1. Okay. What we're also going to do, we're going to duplicate this so that we have the same content. We don't want to work twice, and just call it home 2. Wonderful. And now we can open the home 2 page. Okay. Now 1, 2, and 3, we can move down. And this we can delete. So in regards to the galleries element is located on the left side of your studio under the galleries tab, and you have a bunch of galleries. We're not going to go over on hover effects yet, either on Lightbox or 3D Parallax yet. We will going to go over them soon. What we're going to do, we're going to drag and drop the full width element. And just on the design, remember when I told you on the basic stuff that from the block to the bottom, everything is done in regards to design-wise and property-wise through the properties element. So what we're going to do, we're going to do the same sizing, 800, y equals 0, just like that. So I just changed the size and positioning. Now I'm basically completely even done with that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to close this, and now I'm going to take out the properties panel. So the properties panel right now is telling me, okay, so if I double click here, or if I click on this button, it's going to ask me to manage those images. So let's delete all of them by creating delete all, and we're going to add images. Okay, so I remember I had the first image, so let's do one by one. Okay, so we have this image. That's one. Add another image. And then we can figure out which one would be the best. Pixels for photo. Another image. And there you go. You can also change their positioning by simply dragging and dropping those elements. Now, for every image, you have a title and description. Okay, so title is basically whatever you want. So you can say how to build, and on the description, a killer homepage. Okay, now when we're clicking on that image that is inside the slideshow, we can link it to either a pop-up, an anchor, a URL, a page, or just not link it at all. Normally that's what we do. We don't link it, we don't need to. And then when you're done, you click on save. There you go. Now you see the text is basically kind of like as a default text, and you want to change it. You want to change it to your fonts, to your paragraph styles. So it doesn't work instantly on the paragraph styles, which by the way, I need to change. This is only one, and you see I also forgot. For the second image, I have to have another title. How not to build. And here, a killer homepage. And here, this is a webinar. You should ask questions. There you go. And then you save. And then you can see that all of my text is inside of here. So we've done the most important part is uploading images and basically putting text into it. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to customize the text that is inside. We're going to also customize the slider that is happening right now, the effects, basically everything. So now, just letting you know that you have the option of selecting right here or unselecting what you want to show, whether it's arrow navigation, bullet navigation, or autoplay transition. It's always good to keep the autoplay transition checked. Now, right above it, you have image fitting. So basically, try to imagine this is a slider, right? And the slider is kind of like fit to width shapes, Okay, and inside that shapes we're putting in images, exactly what we just did, right? So it basically covers the whole shape of the slider, but you can change that. So you can make it contain the image, but the thing is that when it contains the image, it doesn't fill in the whole element, as you can see here, because all images are different sizes. That's why it's mostly important to put cover. It's like when the fitting on the shape. Here, this is a shape. Let's go on the design panel. I can fill it. Size, fill, as you can see here. Okay. So it's basically the same thing. So cover. Next, image transition. So you have a bunch of transitions. Zoom to front, zoom to back, slide vertical, slide horizontal. So let's do slide horizontal. Okay, now we can see that it kind of slides. Cool. Now, hover effects. So hover effects are effects when you hover over the image. So I can basically do just a small zoom in, right? If I go on preview and I zoom into the image, it's going to zoom in. Okay, so it kind of zooms in pretty fast. You can change the transition, the hover transition. Okay, this is where it is. Now it is important for me to show you this because you might miss something when you're creating a slider or a fluid gallery, which by the way is basically the same thing. Okay, in regards to properties. Okay, the bullet color, well, we don't need it, but we could change it to whatever we want. And this is for the display text, title, and description. So first of all, do you want to display what text? Do you want to display titles only, description only, title and description, or maybe none? Okay. In our case, we said yes. Description and title style, we're going to change it to the paragraph style that we created together. Okay, so gallery title, let's see what it is. Here you go. And description, I already set it up. Gallery description. I think I did well. Yeah, gallery description. If I go on preview, oh, it's not a preview that we need to do. Whenever you're having this and it doesn't upload the exact fonts, don't worry. On the published version, it is going to appear. Just on the studio itself, it doesn't appear. So you already have here, if I click and I scroll like this, which by the way, it is possible, you'll see exactly the slider and the paragraph style that you set. Now, of course, if I want to add a certain effect on the text itself, so text transition, so I can make it move horizontal, vertical, clip, let's say clip vertical top like this. No, maybe, you know what, move vertical like this. This is exactly the slider that we did before. As you can see, every time that it slides, I have text coming up. Simple as that. Now also the transition delay, you choose the delay of every transition and the transition duration. You can change the title vertical and title horizontal position exactly like the description vertical and description horizontal. I can change it to, let's say, 90, and you're going to see that my title is here. If I change it to 10, it's going to be at the top like this. Okay, same thing goes to description vertical and description horizontal. Let's see if, oh, no, sorry, other way around, 20. There you go. So this is basically how to create a slider. I normally don't put titles and description. I don't know why, because I kind of want to have a gradient like this. Of course, if I move everything up, right, and the slider, I'm just going to push it down because it's the last thing that I did. I just want to build this right over here. Okay, cool. So this is basically it. Now, let's create very quickly a menu for home 1 and home 2. So menu is right here. Okay. And of course, if you want to go and dive deeper into the menu, then just please look at my webinar. So here we're just going to change our fonts. Our fonts will be white. Okay. Stroke, we can keep the stroke. We'll make it round. Just not going to fill it like this. We're just going to make a margin of 25. This is on normal state. On rollover state, we're just going to fill it with white. Solid color, white. And the font will be blue, and the active state basically going to be the same. As you can see, this is exactly what I wanted. And all I need to do is put it here. Okay, now I'm just also going to add the logo. And I'm going to explain why the logo is very important. It's just to show who you are, basically. Icons, no, it's logos. There you go. If I publish this, this is basically the first good impression of my website. Okay. Now, of course, this is a big because it's on the big screen. This is generally how your website looks like. Cool. So let's continue and work our way through.